now I lost almost all of the branches and most of the leaves. Where's the name? In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 secrets if you want to grow blueberries successfully. So here I have 2, as you can see, and one is still green, and this one has already some red leaves and branches here, which is absolutely beautiful. And I'm here in my garden, so I'm gonna share with you my learnings, my mistakes, and 4 secrets, basically, meaning 4 tips that if you follow this, you will be quite successful. So these 2, this one is Rubel, that's the variety name, and this one is, no idea, let's see, this one is, where's the name? Brigitte Blue. So Brigitte Blue and Rubel. But these are the blueberries that I bought recently, and these I bought for our garden. But in my vegetable garden, which is another one, as you know, I have 3. These 3 that I bought last year, I planted last year, and these are Blue Crop, Duke, and Elizabeth. So they're all different varieties, but with these 3, I failed, and I'm gonna share with you why and what I learned. So, of course, I always say whenever you buy a new plant, learn about it, or first learn about it, then see if you have the conditions, and only then buy it. But of course, you go to the garden center, you see something, you want it, done. Okay, well, let's talk about the story a little bit and why I failed, what happened there. And then I will also share with you the tips, and I will also plant this, and I will show you why and how I do it differently basically this year. So going back, I bought these three last year, and I planted them in our vegetable gardens. Of course, I read and I learned that they like a lot of sun, a lot of watering. So what we did, we just planted them in the soil, and we had automated watering system that would basically water the plants, all plants in the garden, twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. Apparently, this wasn't enough for blueberries in hot summer months. This was one of the mistakes, but the biggest one, and now if you see how they are compared to what they were, unfortunately I don't really have the pictures to show you, but they were looking something like this. Okay, and again, I bought them in the autumn. These are also I bought them a couple of weeks ago, and now we are in September. But basically what happened there is I planted them in the soil directly in the garden. And these plants, yes, they love a lot of watering, so they don't like to get dry. And this automated watering system, when you cannot really control how much you water, when you water, in different weathers you need a little bit more, a little bit less. So this was one of the issues. But also, all 3 of them are almost dying. They are in such bad shape now that I need to save them. And to save them, I have already planned to basically go to the vegetable garden, dig them out, and replant them. Most importantly, so they like watering, that's number 1. They like full sun, at least 6 hours per day. If you have more, you will have more flowers, more fruits. The fruits will be sweeter, will be bigger. So this is secret number 2, basically. Also, another thing is the soil, and I think this is the most important one. If your soil is acidic, definitely you can plant blueberries directly in the soil in your garden. If you don't know if it's acidic or not, you can buy pH meter and you can measure it. So for blueberries, they like to be on an acidic side, so 5.5 or even less, 4.3 to 5.5 should be the range that you are looking into. But if you do not know if your soil is naturally acidic, of course, you can make the soil acidic by adding humus, adding peat moss, adding even pine needles, but this will degrade with the time, and it's kind of a slow process. But ideally, if your soil is not naturally acidic, they will suffer. And this is exactly what happened in my case, because the soil is not acidic. I had no clue what kind of soil is there, and I just planted them, yeah, in the sun, under direct sun, but watering was wrong and the pH level wasn't there. That's why I'm almost losing my blueberries. There is still time to save it. It's still not too late, and I'm gonna do it. Basically, I will, of course, repot them. But, so, number 1, soil. Number 2, watering. Number 3, the sun. And number 4, the pot. Yes, if you can, try to grow blueberries in pots, in big containers, at least 40 centimeters in diameter, because they need bigger pots. They will be living with you, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe 50 years, depending on the variety. Speaking of variety, I will tell you something in a little bit. But basically, yes, you will need a bigger container just from the beginning. You don't need to increase it step by step, but just plant it in this kind of pots that I have in the background there, and I'm gonna also plant them now and show you how I'm gonna do it. But yes, they like to be in a container. They're also winter hardy, meaning minus 25 Celsius. What's important in the containers, you can control the pH level. First of all, of course, the soil. I'm gonna use this soil specifically for rhododendrons because it's acidic soil. You can use it for your azaleas, rhododendrons, also plants and berries loving acidic soil. So I'm gonna use this. And of course, I'm gonna also use some fertilizers specifically for plants that love acidic soil, because in container, in a pot, it's easier to control what kind of soil, what kind of environment you have. And if you use all these other things like peat moss, for example, pine needles, humus, whatever it is, compost, that will make the soil a little bit acidic, with the rain everything may be washed away, and you will need to control, to check, to measure basically the pH level of the soil every 2-3 weeks. And what are you gonna do? So we have these pots, we have this soil, we have these two, and I'm gonna plant them in a second. And by the way, if you're watching until now, I'm Anna. I help you grow beautiful and healthy plants, and also gardening. Do some gardening so that we feel happier and more excited and peaceful. So these 3, again, the names are Elizabeth Duke Blue Crop, and this one is Brigitta Blue and Rubel. I have no idea what are these varieties. Of course, the labels say when they will produce fruits, when they flower, when you need to prune them, and all this stuff. But there are 2 types of blueberries, and if you have the chance, the opportunity to grow only one, make sure that you know what variety it is, because some are self-fertile, meaning they don't need the second bush to produce berries, but some need the pollinators, so they need the second one closer to them so that they can be pollinated and produce fruits. So in my garden where we live, I'm gonna plant these 3, these 2 next to each other in those pots, and they will hopefully pollinate each other. But in the garden I have 3. So again, I'm not sure if they are self-fertile or they need a pollinator, but in any case, I have 3 in my vegetable garden and 2 here. So hopefully we will be enjoying some fruits. So they will be growing right here because this is actually the sunniest place, and I'm gonna plant them in containers. I'm gonna do it right this second, and let's also check on the roots. By the way, you can also cover the soil. Doesn't matter if you grow them in the gardens or in containers. You can cover the soil with mulch to keep moisture, and also it's easier for them to overwinter. But again, this is my learnings from the second year, when I almost failed the first year, because, you know, my blueberries are really suffering and they were like this, bushy, and now I lost almost all of the branches and most of the leaves. So I'm talking too much. Let's jump into planting. My soil. And this is my pots. These pots are very big and also will be very heavy, but they all have wheels, and it will be easier in case I want to move them around. It will be still possible. Of course, they have holes, but ideally they will be sitting just here. So let's see. I'm not sure, to be honest, here or here. Yeah, maybe they can be here, right? Here. How about this? Yeah, let's put them in here. There's a spider. Let's ask this guy to leave. You need to go. See, it's trying to scare me a little bit, but you need to go. Otherwise, you will die if I pour soil on you. Tick, 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 tick. Go. All right. So, I think, oh, there is another bug here. This is how you call them, earbugs? earbuds. Yes, let's let it also go in the garden. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do, just dump the soil, leave a little bit of space for blueberries, put the blueberries in the holes in these pots and fill the pot. That's easy. Let's put some gloves on. Oops, the wrong hand. So I'll speed up this process a little bit because I explained what I'm gonna do. And if you have any tips for me, please, please, please help me explain, share your experience. And by the way, also like and subscribe and share with your friends as always.